Anyone? Did everyone able to get the solution of last two tasks? Ashwani, Sushmita, Manohari, who else?
For the first one, Manoj, I have yeah completed, and for the second one is a schedule is a task. I'm not able to get my point at that. So first was is completed.
Okay. We have discussed the scheduling part as well last time. So
It's not for the scheduling. It's for the when how to we find the file execution when you say to add the yeah date and time also there. So when I tried it to adding through the mapper, so it's going and schedule all the date and times for the each of the entity. So
let's not worry about that. So, but have you tried the other option, left out a join
uh,
in that?
and I think I'm trying with the count number also. If the
No.
50 file, yeah,
So, have you tried with the option that was shown by Abhishek last time?
join option, I'm not uh, going throughout because as I create also a two pipeline. First one for the to add it into the file, and second one for the scheduling task. So first was is completed. But the second one is I'm not able to find the file and import into something. Well, I think I can share the screen and show the issue. So it is a little bit yeah, easy for all.
Prashant, please provide the access.
Yes, I have given.
Oh, okay. You can share your screen, Ash.
Yes, Manoj. It is visible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. The first one is, as I said, the first task. When you said to edit a file into what was that? So as a country name. So as a country name, able to do with the both of the method as a static value and the dynamic value. So as you see here, the static value execution. So I send the data into the pipeline parameter through the statically, and it is going to throw a e- error of the maximum number of the sending the data. So here the maximum size who allowed something,
Mm,
I got the error here. So after that, I do it as a, 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 a dynamic way.
mm,
So if you see here,
mm,
so as a dynamic way, it is working as a expected.
mm,
Uh, 532. Okay. So it was the first so execution start. Okay, the file also created here. Uh, oh, okay, so let it go. It it is running. If you want to see, so I can
mm. No worries.
rewrite.
No worries.
Okay,
I got your point.
Okay. And the second thing, and the second jatas, I have used these pipelines for the edit into the employed CSV. So as we see here, so the outcome of the file is like that, and I want to edit something through the CSV generator. So it is able to add, and I use the union here to merge the file. uh, it it is also work, and I do uh, here the mapper for the date, and after adding the date here, it is I'm seeing here, so that when I run 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 this pipeline or execute this pipeline, its date and time should be changed in every time. So if I run this pipeline as a scheduled task for every 2 hour, it's all file go to the updated date and time for the new one. So how
So
to identify the
let me
latest?
give you a hint. Okay.
Okay,
Don't worry adding dates, date dot now, something, something.
okay,
Go and add the date, some random date and time to each and every record in your file. Okay. Maybe
okay.
in another pipeline or something, or maybe do it manually. Okay.
Hmm.
And then try to find the maximum date when you are trying
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
try to find the maximum date of that from all
Hmm.
the records and
Hmm.
check whether the date that is coming up now from source is greater or not. If it is greater, then only send those records. If it is not, then don't send those records. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Try
okay.
that, try that option.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I will, yeah, 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 do like that. So because I'm worried here only. So all the input have the yeah, updated, yeah, date and time. So I'm not able to find the
Mm,
latest one. So
that makes sense because your as you have added date dot now, every record will have some seconds change. That's it. So
yes.
that is also fine, but you have to find the difference, which is greater than or not. So if it is greater than the last date, you have to store that maximum date to one file and
Mm-hmm.
use that file to compare. And then if that date is greater than the date that you have stored in your file,
Mm-hmm.
you should pass that values to the external system or store those values to the file. That's how
Okay,
your logic should be.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, thanks.
Thank
I
you.
I got my point. Yeah.
Sure. Abhishek, have you tried this option of dates?
Uh, yes, sir. I tried something like this only, like checking the date if it's older than the last 2 hours, but I was not able to complete it.
Okay. So as I told you now, follow this option of checking the, try to find the maximum of the date coming from source. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
try to store it in a file and file or somewhere, but file is a good option now for now. And then use the date to compare from the second run. Okay. Use that date to compare and see whether the date is greater than the date that is stored in the file. The incoming date is greater than the date that is stored in the file. Okay. That way you'll be able to find it out.
Okay, sir. Got
And
it.
one more thing, you can, the other option, the first option that you have given there, that is fine. But you can reduce the, two pipelines into a single pipeline and then, make a single pipeline also. Okay. Try it out. Try that
Mhm.
option as well. Think through and see if you can reduce it somehow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm just throwing you a hint that you can reduce it by making into a single pipeline. You don't necessarily need a separate pipeline to load for the initial one. You can just use the same thing every time actually. Okay.
Hmm. Got it, sir. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Sushmita Manohari. And anyone else who has done something on this? Yes, no, you have tried, but you have not got the solution.
I have tried using means using the date there,
Mhm.
uh, but I didn't get the logic, sir. Well, I'll try it by using Ashwini's logic, sir.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Manohari, what about you?
So we'll try again. So
Mhm. Okay. Sure. Okay then. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new Snap maybe. So until now, we are using snaps to achieve our functionality, right? Respective snap for to do the respective logic. Like say, if I want to get the unique set of records or distinct records, I'm using unique. If I want to get single record, I'm using head or tail. If I want separate logic, I mean, if I want to apply some if else conditions, I'm using routers and something like that, right? So all of this we are doing by using a JavaScript I mean a minimal JavaScript, in the sense, basic ternary expressions, the conditional operations, like checking the values whether it is greater than or less than or equal to, not equal to signs, right? And operations, bitwise operations like and operations or operations, we are basically using those in our snaps to achieve our logic or functionality. But what if you want to write the complete JavaScript itself? I mean, you are familiar with your JavaScript or any other language. Basically, the language supported by snaps is JavaScript, but there is a snap which we can use to have a multiple or multilingual uh, support, wherein you can write the code directly. If you are familiar with some of the coding languages, we can use that snap, wherein it supports JavaScript, Python, and Ruby. These three languages. Using these three languages, you can write your own code, if you are familiar with any programming language, any of these three. Otherwise, we can directly use our the snaps, where we are writing the minimal JavaScript code like expressions and something. You can use it directly. Otherwise, if you know a JavaScript or any other language that I have mentioned, Python or Ruby, then you can use this snap that I mentioned. Why Snaplogic has given this support? So many of the times we may not be able to achieve what we are trying to achieve through snaps, right? At that point, at that scenario, you may need this snap that we are going to discuss, where you require to write your direct raw code. In the sense, previously we used to write in any of the coding tools, use this Python or JavaScript or something, where you can achieve your functionality. So that's what we used to do. But here, in these kind of tools, where you don't need to write them necessarily, but there will be a different way also, other than using the snaps directly. We can use this snap as well, where you can write your whole code within itself. Okay, so that is one of the way we will do. So that snap is called a script snap. So this is the snap that we are discussing, that I am telling you till now. So what does this script snap do? Execute the script using the script engine mechanism. So this script engine supports these three languages: JavaScript, Ruby, and Python. So basically, let's go and any of these languages will be supported, Within this, you can write that specific language code, and you will be able to see your execution properly. Okay, if you know Python, you can use that. If you know Ruby, you can use that. If you know JavaScript, you can use it directly. Okay, so how it will look? So whether there are two options, Snaplogic has provided it. One thing, you have an external JavaScript file already available in the Snap supported way, and then you can directly upload that file to the script files. This section, go to click on this and apply, upload that file to achieve your logic. And the second way is, if you click on the edit script, it will generate a template for you. Okay, this is the basic template. You have to use this template, and you have to write your logic within this. Okay, within this in-doc and out-doc declaration, this is an in-doc declaration where it will read the incoming documents and it will take it here. And this is the out-doc, which we want to write as an output of the Snap. Okay, so this in-doc and out-doc are the ones that we generally need to take the input document as an input, to show the output as an output through the Snap. In between, if we have any logic to this, we will write it. Okay, and these are all the libraries and by default mechanism that is given by the Snap itself, wherein it definitely need this, and you cannot directly use it. Okay, you cannot write your direct logics and something like this. That whole mechanism is necessary. So whenever you lost it, if you click on generate template, it will generate that. And as I said, you can import it, you can export it. If we remove the white spaces, it will remove it. Otherwise, it will show us how many white spaces are there from line to line. Okay, this is the general template that they have given, but our logic will go in between in-doc and out-doc, because incoming documents will be read, or if there is any input to this Snap, we will read that basically, and then we will use this outdoc.put. These are some JavaScript methods that you may need to learn if you want to familiarize, or if you want to use this Snap. Okay, for now, let me show you an example, a small example, where we can use this Snap. Let me take a mapper. Okay, and then what shall we do? Let me take two values, maybe. Right, so let me go ahead and validate these two options. Right, I have these two options available now. I mean, two values that I have written to uh, you know and I wanted this to be executed here. What- so what I will do here is, I will try to read those two values using indoc. How will I do? What is a var here? The people who doesn't know the JavaScript, var is the way we can define a variable. Uh, who is that? Can you go on mute? Shivam? Yeah, var is the way we can define a variable. So in JavaScript, or in any other way of programming language, or in any other programming language, I mean, you have to define a variable to store the data. Okay, so JavaScript uses var to store the data. Okay, there are other ways also, there are some advanced ways, but our Snap supports where as declaring to declare a variable. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am declaring a variable using a var, and I want to take that name that I have defined or as an input. What I will do, indoc dot name. What it will do in indoc, what I said, this dot input dot next will give you the value from the input to this indoc. So what I can do using this indoc dot name, as JavaScript is a object oriented. So what I will do, indoc dot name. So we will call this name as a object. So same way, I will try and get this indoc dot phone. Okay. So now I will use this in where output equal to what I will do here. I will try to add some logic to this. Name plus space. Sorry, I don't. So I am just updating the values that I have. Okay, where phone. Okay, let me just change the value of the first name itself. Okay, now let me get them to a document name. So if name, comma, phone is as is. Uh, phone. Okay, let me pass this. Let me pass this to 1 second. It is taking some time. Let me rewrite it. We have lost the code where name is equal to indoc dot name. Okay, where phone equal to, let me use the small letters to just to differentiate from input to here. Okay, where first name equal to what I have used less or okay, and then what I'm doing as an output, I have defined one object wherein I would like to pass my uh, this one as this. Let me put them in double quotes. And then phone as Okay, I will use this to pass it in place of indoc. Okay, previously it is directly pointing out to indoc, but I want to, if I put indoc here, it will get the same documents and it will show you the same output, but I want the modified output. So what I will do, I will place it here. Okay, let's see what it will do now. Okay, I have saved it. What happened? You have to give the same name that you are getting as an output here. Okay, indoc.name and indoc.phone. Even the capital letters and small letters should be in the same manner.
And we can declare our key value pair here also, as we declared previously as a, yeah, generator snap, right?
Yeah, that is what we are doing here. Yeah, in
Mhm.
output, yes.
Yes.
Every record should be closed with, or at the end we have to put it a semicolon to stop the statement, or to represent the end of statement. Okay, let's see what it will give us now. So inside original, can you see? I have changed the name to first name Manoj Kumar and phone to this. Why it has come to original? It's because that we have said that output to put it inside original. But if I want to put it inside data, so I can change it to put it inside data. So the root object will change now. So if you can see, the root object has changed, and inside the data object, there are two more objects that we have defined. One is first name and the phone. First name, we have done this modification wherein I have added Kumar, right? And the phone number is as is. Let me do one more thing. So where UP phone, updated phone. Let's see, I can use a parse in here. So if I want to pass this, I have to pass this value here. Okay. And this will, as is, I have to pass this, and I can change the name if I want. So let me see if it works. It has given me the output, and you can see the value is an integer. Now, got it? Anyone has any questions on this? So using indoc and outdoc, we have to we are gonna deal with all the logic. So using indoc, we have to read the inputs from the previous snap or the previous output, and the name of the values that you want to refer here from the input should be same. same sequence. If the letter is small n there, it has to be small n. It should not be capital N. Okay. It will directly point out to the name instead of anything, because that's where we need to follow the sequence as well. If it is a capital letter, then we have to go with the same manner. Using indoc.name, indoc.phone, that I'm able to read the values from the input document and able to pass those values to the name and phone. As I said, in Snaplogic, we use var, but we might have some other values of declarations as well, some other way of declarations as well in general JavaScript, but we use var here. Okay, and we are going to pass those two values, and if we want to update any values here, we can use it. Okay, can someone give me any idea of how I can reduce the code? How many lines of code that I have written here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 lines, right? So if I remove these spaces in between, okay, and if I put it like this, so how many lines of code that I have written? Sorry. How many lines of code I have written here? 5 lines, right? So can someone tell me the way of reducing the number of lines to maybe any number of lines? What can we do? Can we reduce the number of lines from 5 to below 5? Do you see any sequence here that you can reduce the code? As I said, and I am telling you from day one that once you done with your code, try to minimize the solution so that it will not impact you at the last performance, right? Because when the number of lines increases in your code, the every record should have to go through each and every line, which may take more time rather than having a less number of lines. Even with the snaps also, we should have very less number of snaps. In the same way, we have to use the less number of lines in the code as well. So question to everyone, can you see anywhere that we can reduce the number of lines, or we can just reduce it then
Uh, sir, we
Yes.
can remove the variable name and variable phone. We can use directly in doc.name.
okay, so you want me to remove these two, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I have removed it. Where do you want me to put it? That
The name variable we can use directly in doc.name.
right. So instead of defining there the additional variable, what I can do, I can just use this reference indoc.phone, because the values are already there within indoc. Do I need to define another variable? No, right? Okay, so by that way I can remove this as well.
And I think the UP phone will also reduce here.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
in the next step we'll take a look at that. So now if I take a look at the output, so there is no difference in the data, right? So now let's go ahead and see if we can reduce it furthermore. So now Ashwini, you're saying something.
Yes, as the line number of 41,
Hmm?
uh, the UP phone, and we can declare the value is % in dot to phone directly as a phone value as line number 42.
Mhm. Right. So we can remove this. We can directly define here.
Yes.
So the same way I can do it here also. So can you see that we have done everything to a single line now, right? So let's go ahead and see the execution. Do you see any change here? No. What we have done from 5 lines to a single line. Okay. Make sense now? Got it? Anyone else has any questions, or you want me to have a different example or with the data?
So Manoj, I'm confusing with the where object here. So where should we store all the thing as yeah, we can see as a yeah, integer or the alphabetical string also.
Anything, anything. It will
Okay.
store anything. I mean, where is a global declaration for JavaScript. It accepts integers, strings.
And special character also.
So here, this is a JSON object. This is a
Yeah.
JSON. So where is able to store this JSON as well. So
Uh,
JavaScript has this capability that it can store any sort of data with one declaration like where.
okay. So there is no yeah yeah need for the float and double
No,
or
no,
char something
no,
variable.
no.
Okay, got it.
We
Thank you.
don't require to.
Okay,
That's generally the way the JavaScript handles one declaration for any sort of data.
okay.
Yeah. Anyone else has any questions on this? uh, uh, you require to go to the Snaplogic. I mean, I'm suggesting you some things. I have told you to go through the JavaScript blogs and understand yourself how the JavaScript works. So once you are done with that, you can just come here to the script snap and apply your logic on whatever the data you want to think of. Or let's say we have, let's go ahead and take a look at another example, maybe which you will uh, which we are seeing it daily. I mean, let's take an example of our pipelines where we have used our right employees files, right? Let me take a look at this. What is the file I have closed? Okay, right. So if I execute this, I will be having the records. So now let me go ahead and write some logic, okay, to this, okay, where maybe I will take a look at the take a salary as an example. Okay, I'll just, what are we doing till now? We are using a router snap, right, to segregate the values into the less than values or greater than values. What we will do is we will just use this input from an Excel file, and we'll try to use a script snap wherein we will only get uh, salary having 5,000 or greater than 5,000 or something. Okay, we have done this exercise already initially by using a router snap, right? So now let's go ahead and try to do the same thing with the script snap where we need to write our logic completely, right? Let's go ahead and use this. So now what I will do, I will take this var input equal to in dot, what is the value that I want to have here? Which value do I require to call here?
Salary.
So let me have it as if greater than 5,000, okay, then we should return everything. What I will do, I will just print out some value to the output. Okay, instead of routing here and there the values, what I will do, I will just so I will send that. What I will do, indoc equal to mm, 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 indoc dot dsc. Okay, I will try to, let's see what it will give us here.
D should be capital, Manoj.
Where?
Indoc.
Yeah, indoc dot desk, not desk. What I want is, right, I'm trying to push the 10, and I'm just trying to write my logic here itself. I have not done anything before, so I'm just trying to prepare my logic here itself based on some input, so that you people will able to understand what I'm trying to do here. So it has thrown us data having greater than 5,000 records. Where are they? Are there any records having the data greater than 5,000? So there is some error in our logic now. So what have we done? We tried to read the data to indoor, and what we have done, we have taken the salary, and let me do this. We have taken the salary and we have kept it in description, and I tried to insert the temp to indoc. So now if I do this way, what will it happen is, let me see if I can do something like this. I am playing around right here itself. I'm not sure whether this is gonna work or not. Okay, I'm just playing around for your convenience so that you will be able to understand properly the scripts now, right? So now let's go ahead and see what is the data here. Can you see one thing, that wherever the salary is less than or less than 5,000, the logic that I have written is, don't write anything, but wherever you see, what happened here? Let's go and validate whether it has added anything to the data having 13,000. No, it has not. Data is not written properly. here. So now what I am trying to do is I have defined a variable here which I want to process this value in the next run, and I want to append this value wherever there is a data or a salary having 1,000 or more, or if I want to have the salary 5,000 also. So I have kept the temp to here. I want to write this value. So let's see now one more time. We want to understand whether it has written something or not. No, it has not written anything. It is still writing empty, right? What is the problem now? So we have declared a temp, and that temp is not coming to this. It should be coming to this. Does anyone see any problem in this code?
Uh, Maybe it's running only for the first record, then giving the values for all the records.
No. It will take all the records, because indoc will give you one record after another, and we are trying to get the salary out of it. What is the salary here? Just a second. Is it small letter or capital? Oh, this is the problem. SALARY. Everything is in capital letter here, if you see. But what I have done, right? So that is the problem. I mean, I told you that it has to be in the same manner that input record has. So now let me go and validate again and see if it is writing something here. See, for 6,500, this description is being written. Okay, it's just a sample that I have done to show you how we can work it with this. Okay, you can do anything. What I have done here, I have taken a salary and I have put it into some variable. This is the salary that I am getting it from input, and I have put it into any variable. I have just taken it as description, DAC or something. You can put it anything. I have defined a variable, and I have initialized or defined it here. I have initialized that, or I have set a value to this where I want to set this description, and I want to have it available to all the values out there, right? So if you want to see it properly, also what we will do, we will initialize this as well. People salary having less than 5,000, right? We will just update the description, salary having greater than or equal to description, right? I have written an if else statement. So after this, what I will do, mapper, you will be able to understand it now properly. Now let me go ahead and validate this. And if you see this, at last column, right, as a last column, wherever you see salary as 2,000, which is less than, salary having less than 5,000, but having greater than or equal to, for all the values that are having greater than 5,000. So something like this, I have added this temp to this whole sequence, to this whole columns. I have added a temporary temp that I have added, and I have added a description to that, wherein if my salary is less than something, add this description. Maybe this is what my customer requirement is also. We can do the same thing using the mapper itself directly, right? But this is a programmatic way where we can define a variable and have our descriptions and write some logic to this. Any questions on this? What we have tried here is we try to uh, assign a column to the existing columns, and then to that column write a description saying when the salary is less than something, then have this description, otherwise have this description. That's what I have done. I have taken an if else statement. If you go to the conditional statements in JavaScript, you will see if conditions, if else conditions. So I have taken the if else condition here. I have checked whether my salary is greater than or equal to 5,000. If it is greater than or equal to 5,000, I am getting this message. Otherwise, this message. Is it clear? Any questions?
Or we can wrote it as a conditional is snap do's the iterating operators something
Yeah, we can use
it
for
is
loops.
hmm,
Each and every object, if we want to have, we can do, multiple array of elements. If you have, then you can use for loop, right? It is a single JSON object. So every document, we don't require to write a for loop, because
hmm,
this while loop will give you all the records one after another. But inside another object, let's say there is this object for us. This is the input. Let's say inside phone number, there are multiple phone numbers. Let's say what I'm saying is phone number having multiple numbers. So then that will become an array of numbers, right? So in that case, you can use another loop itself inside this while loop, where within this in doc and out doc, you can use your while loop or for loop or whatever it is. Okay, separate that values or apply some logic according to your business, and then get that as an output. You can do that as well. Any programmatic way you can do it using this JavaScript. If you know your JavaScript well, or any other language, in the sense Python or Ruby, these three languages, if you are familiar with any one of those, you can use this. In the same way, you can do it in Python, you can do it in Ruby as well.
okay. And for that scene the output your document as the line number 50 uh,
1 second.
okay.
Line number 50. Yeah.
50, yeah, output document. So should we wrote a comma separated for the next one if here we have example of the salary column, and if we apply a logic on the first name also,
Then you
uh,
will,
uh, do,
if you want an extra column,
hmm,
okay, what I did here, this temp, I have created a temp. First of all,
hmm,
within indoc, I have created a column called temp, and to the temp, I have assigned a value which is created here.
yes,
Like the same way, if you want an extra column for first name, okay,
yes,
there is a first name already, but
yes,
you want an updated column, then
yes,
what you will do, indoc dot, you will create that column first
okay.
here, and then what is that first? Is it first name or first underscore name?
I think first underscore name.
Dot to lower case. Okay, indoc dot first name. So now first name we have to get it from here.
Yes,
So what I will do here, where first name equal to indoc dot, right? So I can use this. I can use this name here. Let's see. I'm not sure whether the column name first name is correct or not. Capital letters has some problem. Two lowercase.
L should be capital.
Okay. The column name is different. First underscore name. I was How was I able to identify that it is the problem with the front record? It's because that cannot read property on two lowercase. It is saying that it is undefined. The value we are trying to pass is undefined. What are we trying to find here? Pass here first name, right? Where is the first name? Here. So you have to backtrack whenever you see some issue like this. Whenever you are coding some sort of logic here, you have to backtrack and see there is an error. If you see an error, you have to backtrack and see the initial environment where you have declared it. So this is the way we have declared it, or using the options from in front. So this could be a problem. So that's where this is the first instance we go and check whether we are seeing the error from here or not. Okay, if I validate it now, it has provided me the values. So now let me go ahead and take a look. So these all are in capital letters, these all are in small letters. So whenever I want an extra column to be added to this, what I will do, I will have to use this object notation, wherein I will first create the column. Okay, and then apply my logic to my right side. This is what I have done. So if you see the output also, here the first letter is capital and the next sequence is small. As I turned everything into the small letters, so everything is a small here in the first name column. Okay, is it clear now?
Mm, yes, Manoj.
Okay. Anyone else has any questions on this? Are we clear? Yes, no, or any questions still, or you want me to explain anything further on this? One thing you need to remember is you need to know the JavaScript properly with the syntax also. But earlier in the snaps, you don't require to have that, because you just need to know how you can write it within the snaps itself. You can directly write. If you take a router, you will just write this this sequence as an expression directly there, right, in the router. But now you need to understand, in a basic programming language of JavaScript, you have to put them inside this closed brackets, and then you have to open this curly braces, and then you have to define a variable and then assign the value to this. All these programmatic syntaxes you need to know if you want to write using the script snap. Mostly the Snaplogic suggestion is not to go with the script snap until and unless you are not able to find your logic with the snap, then only go with the script snap. So that is the suggestion, because Snaplogic engine will take time to execute a script rather than the snap. Snap execution will go faster instead of script, because this script will call some external libraries. So if you see, there are some import packages, right? Scripting languages, some linked hash map and something. They are importing something from external to this script library to execute this. So whenever there is a set of records that are going to execute on this, it may take time compared to the normal routers or filters, or pipeline executes or something normal. So what we can say from this is, try to use it very less, or try to avoid this almost every time. But when you think that there is no other solution and this is the only way that you have to write it, then go ahead and use it. Otherwise there is no option. You have to skip this, as it will take more time let's say if you have 1 million records, or it may increase to 10 million records or 1 billion records, with the number of records getting increased, the performance of the pipeline will also get decreased. Okay, decrease, because it is importing for every record or every set of records. It's gonna go and check for that import package and then try to import it to the language that we have written here. It could be a JavaScript or Python or Ruby, and then execute the sequence of steps that we have written here. How many lines of code we have written? Almost 5 to 7, right? 5 to 7 or almost 8 lines of code that we have written here. So if we feel that the number of lines will also get increased with this, then the execution will also get slowed down, because number of lines increases and it tries to import some packages and everything. So everything comes into play where a pipeline execution will get slowed down. Make sense? So the suggestion from Snaplogic is you need to know this script snap, and you need to feel comfortable with this, only because whenever you are not able to find a solution using a snaps, okay, you are exhausted with all your options, okay, then go with the script snap and write your logic. To write your logic, you should understand the JavaScript or maybe Python or Ruby properly. Then only you can write it this way. Okay. Otherwise, try to avoid this. Mostly try to avoid this to reduce. Okay. To reduce the performance. Anyone else having any questions on this? On the script snap? Yes, no, maybe.
No, Manoj, I'm good.
Okay. So, I'm going to give you a task on this, on the script snap mostly. I mean, you can use normal snaps also, but try and use a script snap as I told you. Okay. Try converting every string value. Okay. Every string value to, if it is in small letters, to capital letters, and if it is already in capital letters, to small letters. That is on strings. What are all strings here? First name is a string, last name is a string, okay, email is a string, job ID is a string, because you don't see any numbers here. Okay, make sense? And second thing, that is on strings, convert strings to integers. What are all the columns you need to consider here? Employee ID and salary and manager ID and department ID. Okay. Try to convert these 4 columns into strings, sorry, into integers, because for now these are all in strings, right? I want these values as a integer. So employee ID column, salary column, manager ID column, and department ID column. And whenever you see a value within this column, within this any of these 4 columns as hyphen or empty, replace those values with 0. Okay. If there is an empty, replace that value with 0. Replace that value with 0. If there is empty, replace that values with 0. Replace this value hyphen with 0 in manager ID. Okay. Replace space and hyphen with zeros in manager ID, and then convert these to integers, because for now these are all in a string way. I want this in a integer way. Okay. Employee ID, salary, manager ID, department ID. These 4 columns should be in an integer. Whenever you find empty, you replace that with zeros. Okay. The same way, you have to replace that with 0 here as well, hyphen. Okay, that is task 2. And third one, whenever you see hire date having hyphens, okay, convert these dates into June 2, June 21, 2107, 2007 or something, right? Into normal formats. Use date functions for this. Okay. If it is June 21 June 07, if the value is 21 June 07, what will be the date? 21 hyphen. What is the number for June? 06 hyphen. What is the number for 07? 2007. Okay. 21/06 2007. Any questions? That is task 3. So task 4 is, there is this column called email, right? Convert this all the values into small letters and append at the rate gmail.com to the last email column. Convert all the strings that you see here to the lowercase and then append Gmail at the rate Gmail to the value. Okay, that is task 4. Task 5, you have this phone number column here. The general Indian sequences, we don't see any dots in between, right? So now I want this phone number column to be replaced. Whenever there is a dot, replace those values. I don't want dot. Instead of 650.507.9833, I want 650.507.9833 and add +91 at front. Okay, and the length of the values after adding 91 should be 12. It should not be greater than 12. If it is exceeding that, trim that value. This is task 5. Okay, I'm repeating again. First task is convert all string columns to lowercase, right? First name, last name, email, right? Job ID. Okay, first name, last name, email, job ID, right? Second thing, I want the columns, the 4 columns that I told you: employee ID, salary, manager ID, and department ID to be converted from string to integer. Okay, and within that, whenever you see values with empty, you have to replace them with zeros. Same way with hyphen also. Okay, and now third one, hire date. Whenever you see a sequence like this, 21 June 07, I don't know how you do it. Okay, but I want it as 21/06 2007. I want 21 as a date, 06 as a month, 2007 as an year. Don't give me 07. I want 2007, 2008, 2003 likewise. That is task 3. Task 4 is append, convert these to small letters, append or add at the rate gmail.com at last. That is task number 4. Task 5, to the phone number, replace dots, and I want the sequence as 650.507.9833 without dots, and add 91 at front or +91 at front, and the total length of this number should be 10, or by adding with 91 should be 12. if the length of the characters is exceeding 10 or maybe the 12 after adding 9 1, if it is exceeding 10, sorry 12, then trim those values. Trim in the sense remove the last value. Okay, if you see the sequence here, 650 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, this is perfectly fine, right? Now I will just remove these dots and add +1 at start. Okay, and now if I see anything greater than 10 or 12, I will remove that value. And the second thing is, if I see anything less 3 6 7 8 9 10, right, other than the 10 values, I will add 0 at last. So within the phone number there are two tasks. One thing is you need to remove multiple tasks. One thing is you need to remove dots, that is first task. Second thing is you need to add 9 1 at start, that is second one. Third one is you have to check for this length. If this length is greater than 10 or 12 by after adding 9 1, okay, you have to trim the last value. And the last one is, if the length is less than 10 or 12, when it is 12 after adding 9 1, then add 0 at last. Okay, anyone has any questions? So those are the tasks, almost 5 I guess. With the same input you have 5 tasks. I mean, it's just on the same data you are trying to apply different business logics on different columns. This is a single task, but within that you have multiple things to do. Are we clear, everyone?
Yeah, Manoj, actually, I have completed all this thing with the help of Mapper, and it's time
Try
to
it with script.
script. And one thing is confusion when you append with the first name into the script, it's going to create a, a next column. So as we try all this thing,
So if you want to have the same thing, use
yes,
the same name.
okay,
You remove this. Okay,
okay, got it.
so now do you see that column?
No,
Can you see everything turned small
yeah,
letters? Okay,
okay.
so anyone has any questions other than this? Are we clear, everyone, on the task? So by this I'll take a halt, and I want everyone to come up with your solution tomorrow. Okay, use the script snap, do it using that, and almost 5 tasks I have given within that. Okay, you do it, and do one thing, use do it within Mapper as well as script snap as well. Okay, so that we will be able to see the difference in the tomorrow's class. Okay, the same task, do it with the help of Mapper, with the help of script snap as well. Make sense now, everyone? Same task, do it with script snap as well as Mapper snap, and then apply all the five tasks I have told you to come up with. Okay, anyone else has any questions? Okay, Prashant, if not, we can close it out.
Okay, Manoj. So thank you, team. Thank you much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Manoj. Bye.